wondering what in the world happened. Here we go. First quarter, Peyton Wilgar with the interception. His second of the season. Problem is, Blaine, this led to a punt.
Yeah, and that was BYU's issue today. You could be plus in turnover margin, but if you don't get plus points out of those turnovers, they only got 7 points off of those 3 turnovers, and that killed them. No score at the end of the first. It's almost like everyone thought the game started in the second, and it's a 45-yard field goal from Evan Davis. 3-0, no damage done. BYU drives right down the field, and Jake Oldroyd, a 39-yard field goal, and he misses it. First miss under 40 yards in his young career.
And that was a 4th and 18, so BYU once again shot themselves in the foot, backs up Jake Oldroyd, like Mike Simon said, and puts him into a tough situation.
Aleva Hifo. This is his first legitimate punt return of the year. BYU coming in average 0.0, 116th in the country, but Hifo goes 45 yards and takes the Cougars down into scoring range. Emmanuel Isupa going to follow it up here, 32 yards, running with some purpose. Well, it was great to have a short field to work with for BYU, so a couple of plays later, they create a big hole for Isupa. There's a case where everybody had a hat on a hat. There weren't any unblocked players. He gets running downhill, and they're really good when that happens. Later, Cougars march down the field, and Oldroyd misses a 42-yard field goal. And it's 7-3 at halftime. We're thinking, well, BYU gets the ball to start the third quarter. And here they come. From the 25-yard line, Wilson puts it up for Hifo. We saw this a moment ago. We're going to see it a lot Tuesday night on After Further Review. Aleva goes 75 yards. David, it's 14-3.
I think we were all just sitting there saying, okay, now the route begins. 14-3, early in the second half, within 20 seconds of the second half. And then BYU really only scored 7 more points throughout the rest of the entire second half. Longest play for BYU since your brother-in-law Taysom Hill hit Jonah Trinnaman back in 2016 against Toledo. Evan Davis hits a field goal. It's 14-6 now. Here's a 4th and 3. Gadani to Seymour goes for 18 yards. It just seemed like there were all kinds of these plays. We talked about these pick plays, but I'll tell you what, you don't get picked if you're in the right position, which means if you line up and you know that back's going to flare, you line up to be successful. That means extend your lineup.
Yeah, he was playing too far inside, and so they could make the pick look like it was a regular route.
Cougars recover the botched punt. We figure, well, this will bring this offense to life. Wilson over to Hifo, in for the touchdown, and BYU's back in business, and they are back in the lead.
So think about it. 2 of their scores were in short fields. One was after the big punt return, and one was after the turnover. BYU did not have a long drive of the field, a sustained drive in this game.
Brian Kovac ties the game at 21. And then this play here, this is a first down. They're driving to kick a field goal and win the game. Chaz Ayu rips the ball away, and suddenly the tide has turned and it's BYU with the ball.
Yeah, you know, after this turnover, it's weird. Once the offense took the field, I looked at Blaine and I said, I just don't know how I feel about this drive right here. I almost wanted the BYU to kneel this out and just head on in overtime because, frankly, our 2 wins this year have both been in overtime. So we might as well take our chances with the overtime. Instead, Zach throws the ball, and when you look at from the back angle, it just wasn't there. And we're not sure where he's going with this ball. You've got 4 guys within the frame.
And there's somewhere there was a miscommunication because Hifo stopped on his route. So it's almost as if he was trying to decide whether he was going to stop up. The coverage was good down there, and Zach Wilson threw it as if he was going to continue on and bend back inside. And that's where Wilson got hurt, was trying to get involved on the tackle at the end of that play.
Seymour gave him a nice spark in the second half. He runs in the touchdown.
And BYU, that's smart by BYU. You want the no score at that point on the 1 yard line.
You should have just stood up and let him go in.
Now it's Jaron Hall, last play of the game, and it's out of bounds, and BYU is out of time and out of luck. 28-21, and there's Zach Wilson. Don't know the extent of that thumb, but we just heard Coach Sataki live here on the postgame show saying that that he was going to be out for South Florida, which if you are a coach and immediately, you know, in 2 weeks your quarterback's going to be out, this might be a little more significant than we know at this